Hello everybody, it's Majority Reactor P, and today we are here to review the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because I saw it last night. And, what a ride it was. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. I'm going to do a spoiler-heavy review. My overall score is a 9 out of 10. Originally, when I walked out, I gave it an 8 out of 10, but I gave it a 9 out of 10 afterwards because there's always those movies I have to process after a while. Because, like, I don't even watch, or rather, I don't play Sonic games, but after watching the two Sonic movies, I had to, like, think about it a little bit. Because, like, it's a video game movie. Not to say that's, like, not a real or not a good movie. But it's, like, kind of its own thing that I have to think about it longer. And this, after thinking about it longer, I did like even more and more. So I did end up giving it a 9 out of 10 at the end of the night. And the only reason, there are a few reasons, and again, no spoilers, there are only a few reasons, or a few problems I have with the movie. Otherwise, this is a great movie. Like, for instance, the only real problem I have is the pacing and underutilized characters, right? And the pacing was just really quick. It was from the beginning a concern when we found out the movie was only an hour and 30 minutes. A 90-minute long movie nowadays is not long at all. Like, that is really short. I don't remember the last time I saw a movie that short. And with the long time we've been waiting for this, you'd expect there to be a longer timestamp, but apparently not. I don't know what was up with that. So that was definitely disappointing as well. Not disappointing, it was just something they could have expanded upon. I know some people are, like, fine with it because they don't really care about, like, story or anything in Mario, but, like, I have to agree with a lot of people. There weren't, like, big story. There wasn't, like, not that it needs a big story, but it would have been nice to have something a little more. Like, there are some nice things sprinkled in here and there, which I will talk about in the spoiler review. But, and as cool as it is, it kind of just leaves an open book that hasn't been read. And it's really, really weird. Though, okay, enough with the nitpicking. I want to get into the positives, which is pretty much the rest of the movie, aside from that stuff. The beginning with Mario and Luigi is fantastic. Very, very out of the ordinary. Like, it reminded me of the Super Show, which is awesome. So that was a great thing to see. And, like, some other things, like, getting to see a lot of where they grew up is cool. Like, seeing more of their background was nice. That part is fantastic. One more kind of nitpicky thing, but I have seen other people say this, so I'm not the only one. I'm not biased just because I like Luigi. Why was he captured? Like, I get it was the motivation for Mario to want to do something and, like, actually help. But at the end of the day, they spend the whole beginning of the movie, like, dedicated to their bond as brothers, and then they just split them apart for the rest of the movie. I don't know. It's a little weird. I don't think it was the right way to go. I get why they did it, but I don't know. That's another thing. I know a lot of people like Peach, and I don't hate her at all. Like, she's fine. I'm not into, like, the whole cliche, oh, girl boss thing now. Like, I don't know. That just kind of, like, betrays her original character of being not necessarily the damsel in distress, but, I mean, yes, the damsel in distress, but also, like, just because she's a damsel in distress usually doesn't mean she can't be anything more. Like, she was in 3D World as a hero. She had her own game in Super Princess Peach. Like, she has those qualities, but, like, they just kind of go too hard with it, as like she's like, I don't need no man. Like, that's stupid to me. I don't know. It just kind of, they made her like that to be a role model for young girls, and that's fine. But like, I don't know. What are they gonna do when Daisy shows up? Like, they're gonna be essentially the same person. Daisy is like that. They could have done that with Daisy, because that would make sense. She's like her own independent character, and she doesn't really give a shit about things. That's when you could have done it for a sequel. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's gonna shit on Daisy's personality if, and hopefully she ever gets in the sequel. I don't know. That's just me, though. But now I want to talk about the voice cast. We'll start with Mario. Chris Pratt. Sounded terrible in the trailer. We all bashed the shit out of him. And I'm a little ashamed to say it, but in the movie, he's not that bad at all. Like, would I have preferred Charles Martinet over him? I mean, that's kind of biased, but yeah. Like, he could have altered his voice a little bit to not just be like the Wahoo Bing Bong man, like high pitch that he is. Like, they could have altered that. And I'll talk about Charles Martinet in the movie in a little bit, but I can't talk about him too much. So, Chris Pratt as Mario is fine. I was fine with it, especially as the movie went on. But it's just one of those things that when the parts of the trailer that did show up and they played those clips, I was like, yeah, no, those still seem off to me. Because they either altered it or it's the same thing. And since I've heard it in the trailer, it's kind of like, I just hear Chris Pratt there. I don't know about that. But, alright. Next, Luigi. Pretty great. Like, that was pretty well done by Charlie Day. I knew he was going to be fine, because I knew who Charlie Day was when he was announced. So, I was pretty confident in that. In the trailer, I was a little concerned. I wish he did a little more with the voice. But, like, watching the movie, he definitely did a great job. Better than Chris Pratt, definitely, without a doubt. So, that's all I really have to say about Luigi. He's just great overall. Peach! I wish they went for, like, a little bit of a higher pitched voice for her, because in the game she is. But, I don't know. She's fine. She's fine. It didn't bother me at any point. I just wish they gave her, like, a little more of her game voice. Like, obviously not too much, just, like, a little more to, like, make it feel like that. But, I don't know. It was fine. It was serviceable. Toad, fantastic. Keegan-Michael Key, great job. Love the guy. Great comedian. He did great as Toad. So that's all I really have to say about that. Who else? Bowser, Jack Black. Is there anything that needs to be said? That was fucking beautiful. Fantastic performance. He wanted that role, and you can tell. He did fantastic. A+ to him. S to him. Donkey Kong. Worse than Chris Pratt. How the fuck did that happen? How did that happen? Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was a great concept. Perfect voice, I thought. And everyone thought. However, I don't think he tried. I think even Chris Pratt tried a little more. There were some times where I was like, alright, he's fine. But then there were just other times I was like, this is... It's Seth Rogen. He didn't try at all. Like, there's nothing here. I don't. He's probably my least favorite of the cast role, and I didn't think that would happen. I hope in the future he actually tries and maybe changes the voice, but I doubt it. He's being paid what he wants, and he doesn't give a shit, so who knows. Cranky Kong, I thought was fine. I thought Cranky Kong was fine. Don't really have much to say on it. Who else? Kamek, Sherman Mustachio Man. I like that voice for him. I think that works really well. So not much to say on him either. He did great. Who else? Some characters, I guess I could say, because they were announced in the original direct where they announced the voice actors. Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike was... It barely sounded like Sebastian Maniscalco, and I've seen him in person and like gone to his comedy shows before. So that was interesting to hear. I did hear him a little bit, obviously, but like not as much as I thought he would. And now that I heard him, I don't think he was the best for the voice. I think they could have done a little better, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad at all. I want to talk about the references. There are so many references and Easter eggs, and I loved it. And don't even get me started on the cameos. Holy shit. Obviously not going to say anything. This is a spoiler-free review, but my God, the cameos. Now, I'm not saying there were a lot. I'm not saying there was a shit ton of them. But of the few we got, they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. At least to me. I appreciated them. Obviously, look, I'll be honest. I'm a greedy little fuck. I wish we got a little more than we got. But the cameos that were there were fantastic. And some of the cameos are characters you know are in the movie, just not exactly them. And you'll see what I mean when you watch the movie. I think that's all I have to go over for a spoiler-free review. The spoiler-heavy review I'm going to do probably like right after this, so I can go more in depth, because I am going into this movie in depth. I forgot to mention Charles Martinet. I can't, actually, now that I think about it, I can't really talk about his voice role. He has like a little side character role who's in the movie for a little bit. And then an interesting role that I can't talk about. So, spoiler-free review, done. Overall, give the I almost said game. A video game movie, 9 out of 10. Go see it. Definitely worth it. I'm going to see it like 2 or 3 more times at least. And I already pre-ordered like an exclusive edition Star tin DVD Blu-ray set for the movie. Don't know when I'm going to get that. It said November, but people are saying it's going to be coming out in summer. So I don't know. Yeah, whatever. All right, 9 out of 10. Go see the movie. I'll see you guys later.